At Jennings, we spend a lot of time developing content marketing programs for our clients. One of the things I get the pleasure of doing is sitting in that interviewer's seat, interviewing CEOs, lead physicians, nurses, and other members of the team. And it's just so gratifying. I get to learn a great deal about these healthcare organizations. But one of the things I've learned as we're producing these videos that are an essential element of a content marketing program today is that the interviewer and the way you conduct the interview is so important to the final product. You can't take that for granted. And I think people often do. Often they'll just stick anybody in that interview chair and they'll have a list of questions, and that person will literally sit there and go, okay, question 1, why did you go to medical school? Cross that off. Question 2, why did you do this? What's your favorite color? And when you handle an interview that way, you don't get a good result. It feels artificial to the person you're interviewing. And the biggest role of the interviewer, outside of capturing the essential content in the interview, is to make that person sitting in the chair who you're interviewing feel comfortable. And if you're just rattling off a list of questions and going from question A to question B, that's not creating a comfortable environment. What I try to do when I'm interviewing these people is treat them like a peer and have a conversation. I want it to flow, and I have no problem getting off script. I'm not worried about those questions. In fact, I only focus on the questions at the end of the interview. And I'll glance back, I'll excuse myself, say, let me take a second to look at those questions and see if we didn't cover anything that we want to go back to. That's the way to conduct an interview. They forget they're being interviewed. Suddenly they're having a conversation with a colleague, and you're asking good follow-up questions. You're not just worried about what question 2 is going to be, because then you're not paying attention to the person you're interviewing. One last tip. When you're interviewing people, the first thing you usually do is have them introduce themselves. But that's exactly the moment when they're most uncomfortable. So what I try to do is at the end of the interview, ask them those first couple of questions again. Have them reintroduce themselves at the very end, and you'd be astounded at how different that introduction is than the first introduction they gave. So give it a try. Try to warm up those interviews. Be engaging during the interview. Actually make eye contact with the person. Smile with them while you're doing the interview, and you'll find you get a much better result in the end.